Step back over here. Okay, let's lift it up a little bit. A little bit higher, 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 higher. Clap. Hey.
Yeah.
One more time. Clap. Hey. Right. A little bit higher. Okay.
You're doing amazing.
Yes. Needs to hide them.
Cool, thank you.
Right here, right down the middle. You see it? Needs to hide them. Go. Give her a hand, y'all. Come on. Let's go. Come here. Come on. All right, y'all. 5, 4, 3.
I mean, let's not stop the path any longer. Welcome back. This is season 2. I'm your host, Jael Benjamin, but we are here for our special guest, Loren Lott. Y'all give a round of applause. So we're gonna get it on the road. I heard you're born and raised in LA. Could you tell us about that path and how you knew you wanted to be an actress, but you had to kind of navigate it from what I'm hearing, that communicating that with your mom?
Oh, yes. Okay, so I grew up California girl, born and raised. I was actually born in San Diego. And when I was 13, when I was 7, I went to my mom and I was like, I want to be an actress. And she was like, yeah, but if you're an actress, you're not going to get to go to Disneyland anymore because people are going to follow you to the bathroom. And like, I have a twin and going to the bathroom in private is like really important to me. So I was like, dang, if I'm famous, I can't go to the bathroom by myself. I didn't know that she meant like, people like follow you around. But yeah, so she said I wasn't going to be able to go to the bathroom by myself. So I was like, well, I'm not going to do it then. But she's like, when you're 13, ask me again. When I turned 13, I was like, Mom, you remember you said? And so then at 13, I started doing theater programs, doing voice lessons, training in opera, and then I went to go and see The Lion King on Broadway. After seeing The Lion King, I was like, I want to spend the rest of my life making people feel the way The Lion King made me feel.
Wow.
And I've been at it ever since.
Oh my goodness. What were some of those emotions?
So when I saw The Lion King, for one, there's children in the show, a little boy and a little girl, and I didn't know that was possible. I loved theater, but I didn't know it was possible as a child to really do it professionally, and I was just so inspired. I had never felt or seen magic before my eyes like that. Like when you see Broadway or plays, or really The Lion King in particular, it's magical, and I had never really felt that before, and it inspired me. It made me feel like I could do anything. It made me feel like believing anything. It made me feel powerful. It made me feel happy, and I just wanted to spend my life making people feel that inspired, that invincible, that magical, really.
Wow. I mean, it was that magic that then, I'm assuming, allowed you to continue on your path to Broadway. Like, can we hear about some of those pivotal moments in the path to Broadway?
All right, so I always loved theater, but I auditioned for a few shows for Thespian company. That's a big casting company on Broadway. And then I finally booked one, but I didn't know. What I didn't know is, and this is the thing, this is the path right here. Okay, so I had gone to an audition in Atlanta for a role for Whitney Houston, for a show called Born for This, the B.B. Winans story. So I auditioned for it and made it down to the finals for Whitney Houston. And then so a week before this audition, I had auditioned for Motown the Musical on Broadway. And I didn't do the song, I just sent in a tape, and I was like, I'm gonna sing later, they don't need it. Whatever. So then, fast forward back. I'm auditioning for Born for This. And after I make it down to the finals, I'm with B.B. Winans and the director and stuff. And the director goes, by the way, I just want to let you know, I'm also the director of Motown the Musical. And we loved you here. And I would love to have you in for Diana Ross. I would love to have you play Diana Ross. And I was like, yeah, right. You flex it. Because so many people make promises, which you'll learn, and they just don't come through. They're like, we're going to make you a star. And it's like, you're right. So I was like, yeah, sure, of course, yes, the Hollywood talk.
Yep.
But lo and behold, I didn't play Whitney, A few weeks later, I get a call that I was going to be going, that they wanted me to finish the song. They wanted me to sing the songs as Diana Ross.
Gotcha.
I sang the songs for Diana Ross, and then they flew me to LA to meet Gordy, who, if you know Gordy, he was the creator of Motown. We love Motown. Michael Jackson, what? I'm the biggest Michael Jackson fan. So to meet the man who discovered him, I was like, anyway though. I meet him, I'm like shaking in my boots. I sang for him, and I also sang with somebody who became my best friend now. His name was Chester Gregory. He ended up getting the part as well.
Wow.
But as soon as an opening came to understudy Diana Ross, because that girl, she wasn't gonna give up that part, but the opportunity came to understudy Diana Ross, and I got the call that I had booked my first Broadway tour. And
Yeah, congratulations.
but here's another path. Just like literally after that, I was on, I did that, and then that show led to Broadway. And so now I'm on Broadway, I leave Broadway, I go back to Broadway. And while I'm on Broadway, I get another call that same director is doing another show, and the show was Born for This, where I had auditioned in the first place, where he was gonna have me play Whitney, whatever. I get the call that Born for This needs a CeCe Winans, and I go and audition for CeCe Winans, again for BB Winans, and I booked the role of CeCe Winans in Born for This. So it was a big full circle that was where I started.
Wow. I mean, it's so much to pull from that, right? Like, what does it even, could you describe to me, what does a theater audition even look like?
So theater auditions, so for TV and film, you maybe get like 3 scenes, and you can really shoot that in a day,
Okay.
On the same day. But for theater, they send you a song, and when you're going out for leads, you probably get like 2 to 3 songs to memorize. Okay. So they give you like a week to prepare an audition. It's not as easy as like just a quick audition. Sometimes they'll give you like 3 days, but hopefully you get like a good amount of time to like study the music and the song, and then you get maybe like 1 or 2 scenes, and then you go in and they'll either have you sing first or act first.
Okay.
And after you do that, and sometimes they have you pick your own song to start with. So maybe you start with your own song so they can really hear who you are and whatever style you choose. And then after that, you do maybe their songs, and then you do the scene, and then if you're lucky, you get the part.
Yeah. What's your go-to song?
My go-to song is Never Enough from The Greatest Showman, I think, if you've heard that song. If anybody's seen The Greatest Showman, it's a big, magical movie. And there's a big song in it called Never Enough, and it has just a lot of big notes and a lot of opportunity to act, and that's just my secret, is that I hit them with like just a nice little like moment, and it's like, ah! And then I like belt my face off, and then get the part.
Got you. You mentioned understudy. Could you tell us like what an understudy is, like, and then just I want to know what was it like to understudy with Diana Ross? I mean,
Okay, so understudy means that there's a part, and how do we explain understudy? I guess as an understudy is the person who plays the part when the lead is unavailable. When that role is unavailable, there's an understudy. So it's not like in TV where they just stop. Shows on Broadway, they keep going every single day, so the show has to go on. So if you're out and you're the lead, there's somebody else who can fill in for you that day. And then the next day you're back, or you're not, and then the understudy gets to go on again and tell their family and friends to come, and it's great. I love going on for understudy days. Like when there's an understudy on, it's really exciting because the cast is usually a little more excited for this understudy, especially when it's their first time. It's like you're doing the show brand new all over again. So yeah, being an understudy is really hard though.
Okay.
So for Motown the musical, I understudied just Diana Ross, which was the coolest role ever. Diana Ross is so fabulous and fancy, and she sings. So that was a really fun, glamorous role to play. But I did a show called Once on This Island, and in Once on This Island, I was a swing. Now a swing is not for the weak. A swing understudies like 6 parts. So like at any given moment, I can be minding my business in my bed, cuddled up with my heating pad, and I get a phone call like, hey Lauren, you're gonna be the lead of this Broadway show tonight. And I'm like, but then you have to do it because people are paying too much for you to flop. There is no like sink in Broadway, you can only swim because people are really paying money, people flying in for this. It's the highest level of acting, so you have to just like get it together. But understudying 6 parts, that's one of the hardest things, besides a soap opera, but like that's like one of the hardest things that I have ever done, because you're stressed. Every day I didn't know what was gonna happen. Some days I'm the part that I know the least, some days I'm the lead of the show.
Wow.
And it's very intense. And I have so much respect for anybody who's ever been a swing, because it is a hard, thankless job. Also, it's a lot for your ego, because there's photo shoots and stuff that happen with the cast, but because you are in every night, you miss a lot of things, like maybe the Tony performances, and the Tony Awards are the awards for Broadway, kind of like the Oscars or the Grammys for TV and music. The Tonys are for Broadway. So yeah, it's a hit to the ego, but you're literally the show's backbone and superhero.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you're acting, singing, dancing, like you have to have all that all of that coordinated, right? Mm-hmm. How do you like pour into yourself? Like, what's your pause on your path look like?
I pour into myself with prayer.
Okay.
I spend a lot of time with God, and I think it's so important to be faith-based in this industry, because you get more rejection than in any other job, I think, is this job. You know, and it makes you question yourself. But I learned to put my faith in God and not in the hands of casting directors or in an audience. You know, it helps me to rediscover my worth constantly when you get those hits. Because sometimes sometimes you know what this role is going to do. You know the money that you're going to make if you get this part. You know that it's going to change your life. You know, imagine like you could star in Stranger Things. Imagine the people who didn't get the part for Stranger Things. You know, you went to the screen test and all that, and you know this is about to be a giant show. And then you don't get the part. It's a bruise to your ego, and it makes you think like, maybe I'm not good enough. But that's not ever true. The truth is never that you're not good enough. It's just that wasn't what God had for you, you know, in that moment, and there could be something that happens later. Like, that's what I've learned too, is a lot of times the no's were actually yeses to other things, and sometimes the no's were a rescue.
Yeah. Wow. Could you talk about the pivot into acting, like becoming a full-on actress?
So my mother is just my blessing on earth, because she was like, if you want to do this, there is no half doing it. You go full time. Like, if this is what you want, I'll support you. So I've never had a job except for acting. So I was never like, I see a lot of my friends who've had to be like nannies or waiters.
Yeah.
My mom was like, all of that stuff distracts you, because you'll get an audition and be like, no, I got to finish my job. And it's like, you're gonna spend so much time on your second job instead of like what your dream is.
Yeah.
So she was like, we're gonna go full on your dream. So, isn't that crazy?
I have some questions. What does it look like to be a full-time actress? Like, could you walk us through like a day in a life?
So a day in the life of an actress. So not only am I, my day now, not only am I an actress, but I'm also an influencer. Now, if you know anything about influencing, or you see people on social media, being an influencer is also a full-time job. So right now, I start my day, I wake up when I'm done sleeping. Because there's no times, you know, I do what I want to do. But I usually wake up, probably do a workout, and then I pray, you know, and then I scroll through Instagram or TikTok, because for a lot of you that's entertainment, for me it's research. So not only am I entertained, but I'm also trying to research to see like what is trending right now, what's creative, what's a sound that I can use, and then I just let my creative juices flow to try to see what video is gonna do this, what video can go viral, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Because when I have sponsorships and stuff, they're looking at my page to make sure that I'm active, all of that stuff. So not only do I have to focus on acting, but I also have to make sure that I'm active on TikTok. And then on TikTok, I have to make sure I'm also active on Instagram. So I have to make sure I'm not only like making videos, but also taking enough pictures and making sure that I'm editing. And then now my social media manager wants me to do long form content, which is YouTube videos. Ugh. So now I have to like, that came from my soul. But like, now I have to like figure out YouTube, and like you have to like edit. Now you have to shoot for that. And then on top of that, I go to events. So like on an event day, I wake up and scroll and do all of this stuff. But then sometimes I have an audition. And then during an audition, I have to like put half of the things away to like study the audition, and let's do the next day or like whatever. I try to like study my audition and make sure that I fully understand the character, go through the script if I have it, all of that, and then I tape the audition, and then I go. So it's a full The day is really like this, especially when I have events. So when I have events, sometimes there's glam and all of this stuff that takes place before that. I have mastered now how to do my own glam and my own makeup so that I can, look, that's a blessing. Because not only does it save me money, but it also saves me time.
Absolutely.
Because I don't have to schedule and stuff, and I can do things, you know, when I want to do it. I also live with my two best friends who are also in the industry. One is a professional makeup artist, so like sometimes when a movie or something gives me a budget for hair and makeup, I can just give it to my friends so that they'll do my, you know, hair and makeup. So like, you know, hire your friends, guys. I mean, look at Pat's, you know, like make sure you like hire your friends because they're the best team. They're the best team. So like, yeah, it's a thing. But when I'm filming, it's a whole other day because, you know, then you have to wake up at like 6:45. I wake up looking like my brother before I become a woman. and then, you know, I go to hair and makeup, and I have to, I'm such a stickler for a script. I'm not somebody who wings it. I have to be so memorized, and I think that comes from Broadway.
Gotcha.
You know, you don't really adjust and switch to Broadway. You do the same show every night. You can find new things, but I really like to like stick to a script. So I like to be like word perfect. I'm obsessive. I'm a perfectionist. But I think it's gotten me where I am today. So.
Absolutely. You mentioned some key things, right? You have a social media manager.
Yes.
How do you know when it's time for how would a person know when it's time for them to get a social media manager?
I think when they come to you.
Okay.
When people start reaching out to you because they can see value in what you're doing,
Yep.
I feel like they will work for you harder. So I think I was very blessed for people to start reaching out to me in terms of like publicists, stuff like that, where I know that they understood the vision,
Yep.
like because they wanted to be a part, especially when they were people who had bigger clientele, where it was like, oh, okay, so if you like what I'm doing, that's good, that's good. So I was actually my social media manager I got because I went to. A girl named Corey, she's Snoop Dogg's daughter, and she does music and she's fabulous. And I went to her like album release.
Yep.
And my other friend, she's my friend now, but there was another girl there named Desiree, and she was like, oh, I like you, let's do TikToks. And we did TikToks, and then she was like, my mom is actually a manager, and I was like, okay, your mom's manager. But she's like, no, she manages Corey, who's the girl, and then she manages like so many people on social media. So she was like, no, you should like really look into her. I feel like you'd be great for her. Her mom reviewed my stuff. I fit everything that she was looking for. And then we've been rocking ever since. And it's one of the best things that ever happened to me is to have her added to my team. Like, I'm always looking for who can add to the team, because I've spent years developing a team. A team is like the best thing ever, especially like me when you have so many different avenues that you go 100% in, which is hard. Having a team is so important, and my team is just so on board. We have meetings, we've like worked out so many things, and I'm just so grateful to God that I've been through a lot of people to get here. So yeah. I have a team. Don't do it by yourself, kids. Don't do it by yourselves.
So in managing these different teams, right, for all the different spaces that you play in, do you like host like team bonding? I don't know, like what is it, how do you merge those groups together?
So the way I merge is I set up, I give everybody plane tickets, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna meet in like Cabo. And then I'll buy like a hotel in Cabo, and I have everybody meet and get to know. I'm lying.
I was like, wow.
I'm lying. I send an email and I say, this person is now a part of the team. CeCe them.
Got you. Got you.
Literally, I'm like, if that.
How did you feel when your first video went viral?
Okay, so my
and what was the content? Because we need to know.
Okay, so, when I first went viral. Okay, so when I first went viral, it was kind of surreal because I was like, is this happening? Like it felt like, wait, is this many people? You get a little anxiety because it's like, wait, is this many people like watching me? You know, so like when I first went viral by myself, I think my first viral video by myself, I was like in a car trying to show people how to like, when a guy's hitting on you, like ways to avoid it. Yeah, ways to
get around.
Yeah. So I had like different like for one, I had some guy walking up to me and I was like, oh, hello, sir. Oh, hold on just a second. she's dead? Are you kidding me? And like I just acted out a bunch of different scenarios to do that I have actually done. When a guy, I have done so many things. Like if a dude is talking to me, like I know sign language. I have definitely pulled that one out where I've been like, I'm sorry, you know, whatever. I've just pulled out literally all the stops when someone is trying to hit on me. But anyway, when that video went viral, I was like, you like me? And then, but that was one thing. But then to go from platform to platform and go viral, sorry, I'm messing up the mic, but to go from platform to platform and then go viral on each thing, that's when I was like, I think I'm getting good at this. I think this is like a thing. And I started realizing, because before I would partner with people and stuff, and then when partnerships or whatever didn't work out with people, I'd be like, dang, like I needed them. And then I started realizing the common denominator to every viral video was me. So like, I'm like, oh, I can do this by myself. Like this, I can do it. Yeah. So yeah, I started like doing the things. And yeah, so now I've like go viral, like now it's like a thing. Now it's like, oh, okay, this one's viral, this one's not, this one's, you know, now I don't chase going viral, I chase a community. I try to have like, because those are the people who are gonna buy your products, watch your movies when they come out. So now I'm actually trying to build like a fan base, not just people who are like, oh, that's a funny video, haha, scroll, next one. Oh, that's funny, but people who are like, oh, it's Loren. You know, so I love when I meet people in person and they know my name. I'm like, okay, so I've made enough of it. Like you remember, I'm doing something right. So yeah, it's a path.
What do you do in that first moment, right? So like you said, you go viral, and then how do you, I feel like time is of the essence after you went viral. Like what does that next week look like? Like
so,
what should you be doing to engage people?
You know what, if you go viral for like the first time, because what I've seen that's funny is like sometimes someone will go viral like once and then they'll be like, hey, I'm about to move to LA and I'm gonna get an apartment. It's like, all right. So, because sometimes you can go viral once and then never go viral again. It was just that video, you know? And people really be like, I'm an influencer now. And it's like, you know, take your time and like actually see, like figure out your, maybe not a niche, because I have no niche, I'm just a mess. And I love it though, you know? But I would just say, you know, keep posting and have fun with it, because when it's a job, it's like, just like any job, this, though it looks kind of cool, it can be tiring. Even acting, you know, like there's sometimes it's 4 a.m. and I'm like, it's a job right now. I'm sleepy and I'm like ready to go home. This right now, like though I love this is a job. Just like someone goes to a 9 to 5, it's a cool job, it's my dream. But this is like a job, same with like influencing. So after you go viral, keep posting videos and then try to see if that was just a one-time thing. But I would say don't chase just going viral, chase like having fun.
Gotcha.
Try it, because someone's always thinking what you're thinking. If you like it, there's somebody else out there who's going to like it. If you think it's funny, someone else does. So I would say don't start like doing, because you'll start getting anxiety. You'll start worrying about like what other people think of you constantly, you know, so just try to make sure it's all fun. Yeah.
Gotcha. I like that too. When you were talking about some of the things that are trending or collaborations, could you describe how those opportunities come? What are great questions to ask different brands that may want you to promote their content?
A good question to ask is for reviews of the product. Because what you would hate, and what a lot of people do, sometimes they're throwing like large amounts of cash at you and they're like, hey, I want you to advertise this cream or this weight loss pill or something like that. And it's like, be careful with that, because you want to try the product too. You want to make sure that you keep your integrity and don't just like sell yourself for the money. Because I know me as a consumer watching anybody, I'm like, oh my gosh, Kim Kardashian used this to get her skin like that, I'm gonna buy it. And it's like, no, she didn't actually. This isn't what she used it, like not saying her in particular, I'm just saying like anybody could be lying about what they're doing, and then it makes it harder for people like me. Like I treat my audience how I would want to be treated by the people that I'm following. You know, it's like, I want you to be honest with me. This actually doesn't work, so don't sell it to me because I care about you. So I'm buying something because I care about you. So a good question to ask is, does this actually work? And then test it out first. You know, see, like, did my stomach actually get flat in 2 days with this cream? Did something grow on my body that they said would grow? You know, like, pay attention to that stuff. So make sure you keep your integrity, for sure.
Yeah. Absolutely. So you spoke about a few personality traits that are key to have, right? Honesty, integrity. What are 3 more like character traits that you would say are important in this industry?
Joy, positivity, kindness. Because I know for a fact that there's some opportunities that were bigger than me, that yes, I was talented, but I know I got it because I was nice to somebody who remembered me, years later. There's sometimes I'll meet somebody who they're like, oh my gosh, I met you like 10 years ago, but I'll be on a set, and they'll be like, I remembered you from this, and blah, 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 and you were nice to me. Yeah. And I'll be like, good thing I was nice to you. Like, some people be like, oh, well, if they caught me on a bad day, I don't agree with that. I think even if you're having a bad day, you don't have to impose your bad day on other people. You still be kind. I think kindness is so important. I was just talking to somebody, I don't remember, but someone was saying that years later, they came to me and they were saying how much my kindness had affected them, and it led me somewhere else. I should have remembered it because this is such a cool moment to share it. But sometimes I'll be in a daze. But I don't remember what they said, but I remember how it made me feel. And it made me feel like, dang, okay, I'm doing something right. Even years ago, I might have not been having the best day. Someone might have been irritating me in that moment. But I still chose kindness. Even when someone gets on my nerve, even when someone ticks me off and I want to say hey, I still make sure, even in that AA, that I try not to rob your light. I just say my piece. I don't have to come at you and say because sometimes you can say well, your big-headed, ugly self anyway. I'm angry, so I want to bring you down. I'm trying to make sure that, I've been praying about that too, that in those moments where I still want to snap at somebody, I don't come at them and tear them down. I just say this is what I need. Because that's what it really is. I'm trying to voice my needs and I'm frustrated. Or you're irritating me, so I'm just trying to make sure, even in confrontation, I don't rob someone's light.
Wow, that's powerful. I don't want to rob anyone's light because I'm sure that the audience has some questions for you. So we are going to pivot this moment and open it up to the audience for some questions.
What is it, young man?
Hello. Thank you for your time. When you say not robbing anyone's life, sometimes people will say, hey, they feel like as people that are nice, that are kind, sometimes they can fall into people pleasing.
Yes.
Sometimes people are like, wait.
Please excuse us.
In the meantime, how old are you kids? How old are you? 8? How old are you? 5.5? Come here. Come here, you too. I mean, you don't have to face the audience. This is just our conversation. I just want to be near kids. I feel like there's good. Are you guys having fun with this? Is this cool? Oh my gosh, who was your favorite interview?
You.
Me? Oh my gosh. Okay. Wow. Wow. Come here. Since you want to be here too. Come on, kids. Come on. Who was you guys' favorite interview? Mafia? Mafia?
Both of y'all.
Oh, both of y'all.
Both of y'all.
Oh, yeah, you like it? Who was yours? Me? That's so crazy, because did you guys know that I'm also Princess Tiana? Yes! I am Princess Tiana.
Claim that Disney princess.
I'm almost there. You know that song? Almost there. I sang that. Just now. Yeah. Who's your favorite princess?
Moana.
Moana? Moana's a great one. Do you guys like Ariel?
Yes.
Ariel's so cool. Do you like princesses? No. What do you like, Sam? You like Power Rangers? I love Power Rangers. Do you like Pokemon? I love Pokemon.
All right, you guys, we're back up in action, but let's definitely give everybody a
Good
hand.
job, guys. Give me hugs. You guys are so talented and cool and smart. Come here. I know you wanted some sugars too. Come on, bring it on in. Give me your sugars. Yeah. Okay. Now go sit your little butts down. Get away from me. No, I'm kidding. And that's when I decided, no, I'm kidding.
We're having such a good time. I want to invite the audience in.
No, I think you had something that you said that really stuck with me about kindness. A lot of times people who are really nice or kind, they might fall into people pleasing. The question is, what do you separate, or what's the difference between being nice, being kind, and making sure that you still stay true to yourself?
That's such a journey, because in kindness, especially being Christian, I know I've talked to a lot of my sisters about this, that you struggle with sometimes giving too much grace, where it's like, yes, I know that they hurt me, I know that they're trash, but I'm still gonna turn the other cheek. What I've learned is I only have 4 cheeks. And after I turned all of those, I need to start walking away. But another important thing is to set up boundaries, like for yourself. And the more confidence that you have in yourself, and the less that you worry about the person leaving, and more about like how I'm going to feel. Because there's so many times I didn't say something, and it didn't affect anybody in the room but me. Everybody's fine, maybe still being rude to me, still whatever, still walking on me. And the only person who was affected was me. And I could have said one thing. I could have said, oh, excuse me, don't talk to me like that. Excuse me, that actually didn't make me feel good. Can you maybe choose a different choice of words? Or sometimes I'll just say, hey, I didn't receive that well. Can we maybe find a different, something else there that I can receive better? It doesn't have to be confrontational. It can just be like, oh, hey, that hurt my feelings. Because the reality is no one actually wants to hurt your feelings. Yeah. No one wants to actually make you uncomfortable. You know, so if you just say like, oh, hey, that kind of hurt my feelings. Most people will snap into action. So that's what I'm learning now. And that's a journey. That's one that I'm like really working on, because it's a hard one. I would just say keep practicing, because all it takes is just a few times to really get the habit in there of just like, okay, I didn't like that, and then you slowly get there. And I think a perfect place to start is with people who you trust, who you know are going to love you anyway, because I think that's a lot of the fear with people pleasing is you're worried someone won't love you after. You know, or they're gonna be hurt after, like, because you know how you felt, because that's where people pleasing comes from, is people have offended you and you knew how you felt when someone snapped at you, when someone said that they hurt your feelings. You know how that feels, and you're compassionate, so it hits you, you know. So I would just say it's a hard one, but practice with people that care about you and love you. Like I practiced a lot. The first person I practiced with was my mom, and like just saying like, hey mom, it makes me uncomfortable when you're passive aggressive, and it took some time, you know, that was uncomfortable, especially to say to your mother, because moms don't always receive well, but I was like, I want us to be, and I told her, like, I want us to be best friends forever. I don't want to be avoiding you in older age or all of that, because I have so much pent up. I want to love you forever, you know, and then just explaining even that. When you're coming from a place of love, you can't always go wrong, you know.
I think we have a
You
question
like
over
me?
here.
No, I'm kidding.
Hi, Lauren. You are absolutely amazing. I just got to say that first.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. My question is, well, first, let me say I admire how you spoke about integrity. Can you talk about if you've had that moment where you have to stand in your integrity and go with what you know is right and say no to an opportunity because it doesn't align with your integrity, if you've had that? And if it was a struggle, or how did you feel about it?
I'm trying to think of one particular time, because I think there's times throughout my whole career. For one, I don't do nudity, and I know that has blocked me from several opportunities and even several auditions. But there have been times when people will try to push you past your limits, and I've had to sit there and say, no, that's not okay for me. Or even sometimes I won't even say certain things that are casually just putting God down. I don't believe in that, and I'm not going to deny him in public. Even if I'm playing a role that may be a little bit raunchy, you know, I still need to have my limits, you know. So I just try to stay true to, especially my relationship with God in that. There have been plenty of opportunities with influencing where I was like, I don't believe in this. I don't believe in this project. I don't believe in this, so I'm not going to do it. You know, I'm not even going to audition I don't believe in this kind of show, so I'm not going to even audition for this type of show. I have a friend in the industry I'm trying not to reveal too much about this friend, but it was a very public situation. And there was a TV show where it had something to do with it. And because of my relationship with that person, I was like, this role, I know I could book it, but I can't be associated because this person matters to me more than this job that's gonna come and go. But this person has helped me a lot in this industry.
Wow.
And I'm gonna burn this bridge for why? For this. And it's like, no, relationships in this industry are so important. And honestly, especially in ethnic communities, you know, when you are ethnic, the communities stick together really hard, and it's important not to just burn a lot of bridges with your own, especially. Thank you so much. I broke my nail.
Well, I'll ask a question. Hi. So you're an amazing singer, you're an amazing actress. Do you prefer one over the other? Are you in love with them both equally? Because you know sometimes we have something that we like to do more so than others. So is that your experience?
So what's really crazy right now, and I prayed for this, like you guys, last year I write down on my prayer board, I have a prayer board, and I write down my prayers. And I write down, sometimes I write down Netflix, or as Terrell let me know I spelled it wrong. I spelled it Netflix, but I was writing fast. but I'm dyslexic too. But no, I write down my prayers, right? And then last year I had written down that I started booking roles where I could sing and act, and it felt as fulfilling as being on Broadway, because Broadway feeds you. You feel like Beyonce every night. If you walk outside and people are like screaming at you, like, but the last 4 movies that I've done, and at the TV show, I have sung in all of them. My character sings, and even like the things that I have coming out. I have a Christmas movie. I have 2 Christmas movies coming out this year, and one I play a pop star, and another I just play somebody who tried to have a music career, but I sing. And I have a performance in all these. And I used to watch performances on TV and think like, oh my gosh, these performances look so cool, you know. Now I literally do that in so many projects. And then next year I have a movie coming out called Praise This, and it stars Chloe Bailey and like Quavo. It's a Will Packer movie, and I play somebody on a rival team from her. But I have a full singing, like I sing over and over again. Like it's so cool that like everything I do now, I get to sing. Like, so most of my auditions even, like, I'm like, if I have to sing, I'm probably gonna get it.
I mean, on that note, we are so thankful that we got it today from you. Y'all give a round of applause for
Thank you. Wait, are we done?
We're about to be done.
Okay, kids, come back.
Okay.
Come back. We can end this out together.
Yeah.
Come back. Come back. Everyone sit on my lap or try your best. Just kidding. Is there room for everybody? Okay. The rest just stand around. Okay. Continue
On that note, we are so excited that we were able to book you on this show today. So everyone, give a round of applause for Lauren. A Disney princess coming soon to your television. Thank y'all for tuning in today.
Bye. Thank you.